Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a horror movie review and I'll be having a look at the movie Fields of the Dead. So this is a kind of a low budget horror film, and the bug start is going to lead you to believe it's kind of almost like an Evil Dead style film where you've got a bunch of sort of university students going off to a kind of remote area to do some kind of research there for their sort of thesis, and of course they get attacked by the forces of the supernatural. Now the cover, if you on some of the covers anyway, it kind of will lead you to believe it's a zombie film. It isn't, and there's barely any kind of actual on-screen supernatural occurrences at all. So the first thing I say about this film is nothing really happens until literally halfway through this film. So, you know, you've got a good 45 minutes of just character building, but to be honest, the characters are a mixed bag anyway. Though I did like some of the characters. I will say that there's a couple of the just the cast here which I thought did a reasonable job in kind of portraying sort of, you know, kind of likeable and interesting characters. But on the flip side, there's a couple of characters. A guy called Josh, or the character's name is Josh, who's just a terrible actor, and I guess almost a kind of the main girl who ends up sort of getting possessed is again not a particularly good actor. Cheryl, I think the character's name is. But there are some other characters which I think are quite cool. And what I like about one of the actual characters, and this is going to be a bit of a spoiler here, but this film is overall pretty crap, so I don't care. So one of the characters actually has sense enough to think, actually I've had enough of this shit, and sort of goes and just says, well, I'm leaving, I'm out of here, and actually goes. And I thought, wow, that's actually quite, you know, original, where you just literally got someone so saying, no, had enough, and just leave. And I thought, please don't let this film kind of be one of those sort of typical things where, you know, you see the end, there's going to be a little epilogue where this person is somehow still connected to the supernatural, and of course it is. And I thought, you know, it has to go back into that cliche. Anyway, I digress. So, like I said, there's nothing really happens, and ultimately we have one of the characters getting kind of possessed by some kind of ghostly spirit. We're given some kind of very loose backstory as to there's been some kind of legend about this sort of area and massacres and stuff like that, but we don't really know why. It's kind of there's very sort of flimsy reasons about why stuff is happening. Why has this girl got possessed? There's kind of a scene towards the end of the film where the sort of ghostly character sort of says to this Cheryl, "Oh, do you understand now?" And I'm like, "Oh, I sure as hell don't." And it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So to be honest, like I said, there's not much in the way of special effects at all. All you've got is really kind of a voice modulator sort of giving a kind of a spooky voice. There's nothing really in the way of sort of special effects or kind of a couple of, you know, blood squibs and stuff, but that's about it really. So there's nothing horrific really about this film. It's not a spooky atmosphere. There's one mildly spooky scene where a character is kind of driving along a road, but that is, you know, that's pushing it here. Overall, there's not a lot to really recommend this film. As I said, there's a couple of minor characters that I kind of liked, and that's really it. But even that, it can't really sort of say this from this. There's virtually nothing that I can say that's really particularly good about this film. It's not original at all. It's obviously a low budget film. I guess it's, you know, it's fairly well shot. I would say that, which kind of maybe gives the impression that it's going to kind of be a slightly higher budget film than it probably is. But overall, it's quite boring because there's virtually nothing that happens. Like I say, literally nothing of note happens in the first half. And when we do get to the second half, even that is kind of sparse in regards to the supernatural events. And when they do turn up, they're pretty disappointing anyway. So I'm going to give this movie a 2.5 out of 10. Have you used it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.